You're listening to BSRN, Box Studios Radio Network. And now it's time for another Power Play post-show interview exclusive.
Tim, obviously, I think the first time I talked to you a couple years ago, I had a feeling from talking to you that winning a championship was still very important to you. Portland last year, obviously, got very close. This year, a very disappointment, obviously, for the team.
Right.
But talk about you personally, what you want to achieve. We just were looking at a picture of you when you played in Carolina and stuff like that. What do you still want to achieve in hockey, and how disappointing was this season?
Well, my biggest goal, I would say, is getting back to the NHL. I had a taste of it there for a while, and unfortunately, I shouldn't say unfortunately, I was fortunate to be able to play there and playing forward, but I'd really like a chance at playing D. I know I could stick there if I just got the chance. So that's my biggest goal. And obviously, like you said, winning a championship, that's something every kid dreams of, no matter what league you're in since they're little. Every time you even think about it, it gives you, goosebumps and chills. So to be able to experience that would be pretty top notch.
Now, obviously, you and your brother are both playing professionally and everything like that, and it's kind of hard to probably play against him, but when you get on the ice and your brother is out there as well, what's that like for you? And because I know you're very close with your brother.
Yeah, it's emotional. I mean, especially luckily I haven't had the opportunity where I've had to hit him or anything like that yet. So,
but would you?
Well, yeah, you got to. I mean, and he understands that. And I have some really good friends that I fight. Zach Fitzgerald, one of my best friends. We've fought each other 3 times, and it only brings us closer.
Really? Explain why. How does that happen?
It's just more of like a respect thing for each other. We both know we have a job to do. We don't like doing it against each other, but we'll do it, and afterwards it's like nothing ever happened. It's just one thing that makes that guy such a great individual.
You talked about not really having help Borowiecki this year, and he is a young pro. What do you mean by that? What is he doing on the ice that means that Tim Conboy, who has all this experience, who's been in the NHL, who's seen playoff teams, who's been there, what didn't you have to teach him? What was he doing good?
Just poise for a guy at that age to come into the league. I mean, I remember when my first year was the lockout year, and I was running around there like, oh shit, I hope I don't get scored on here.
Right.
And to watch him, he just has so much poise. Like, he's patient with the puck. He's just years ahead of his age, I feel like. So he's going to be a good player in the future, and it's going to be fun to watch him in Ottawa.
Now, obviously, some of the young guys are going to head up to Ottawa, be a part of the Black Aces and everything. I'm sure you've been a Black Ace before.
Yeah, a couple times.
Was there anything that you guys, the veterans, said to those guys as they were leaving?
Go up there with a good attitude. You have a chance to play, but that chance is small. But it's still a chance, and at the end of the day, you're on the second squad of NHL teams around the playoffs, so it's something to be proud of and take pride in. And, you go up there and work hard, and it's also another look for the organization up there to see who's got good character and who will come up there and try and not just screw around. So,
what can they learn as a Black Ace?
They can learn a lot just by watching NHL guys, how they prepare, how they live their lives, and prepare and do stuff for the games. Watching the games is a big part too, because you get to be right there and be in the action, and a lot of times hear what the coach is saying, and you feel like part of the team. So it's huge. It's like being in the NHL.
Now, you and your wife have another addition coming, and you have your little guy was out on the ice a lot this year and everything. Are you excited about being able to start teaching him about hockey and getting him to do that? And of course, you got a little one coming, so then you kind of have to balance all of that, still get ready for next season.
Right. Yeah, it's going to be a busy summer, but I'm a father now, so I guess that's what you got to do. Growing up's no fun, but we all got to do it, and Luckily, I have a great wife, and my son Gunner is awesome. I can't wait to teach him everything I know.
How'd you guys come up with Gunner? Because there's a few rock and roll bands whose, obviously,
lead singer.
Yeah, exactly. They've come up with Gunner as names as well. So why Gunner?
Well, we wanted something unique, and
it's still kind of rock and rollish too.
Yeah, for sure. And we're both Irish, so we looked up Celtic names, and Gunner in the Celtic translation means warrior. So that's pretty fitting for, I feel like sometimes I could play like a warrior a bit. Hopefully he will too someday. So,
and is hockey always going to be a part of their lives as well? If they choose not to, is that okay?
Oh, definitely. If he wants to be a golfer, that's fine by me. I'll sit on the golf green and watch him instead of the rink, but it'll be his choice. I'll always give him every opportunity to do what he wants, and like my father did. My father was a football coach, and I mean, he obviously wanted me to play football, but he never pushed me. He let me figure out what I wanted to do and what I was best at, and he never pushed me in any direction. So
some guys play hockey because they love it. Some guys play hockey because they're good at it. What is it with you?
Love it. Yeah. Ever since I was 3, the first team I ever been on, all I wanted to do was play in the NHL. Every paper, anything I wrote for school, all about hockey. Just hockey nut all growing up. So the first game I ever played was pretty surreal, lining up next to Rod Brindamore and guys that I grew up watching. Yeah. It was pretty awesome to take in.
So when does the training start for you? I mean, obviously some crazy stuff is going to happen this upcoming summer for you. So when does training start for you?
I usually take like a week or 2 off and then just start with light workouts on my own at like a local gym. Yeah. And then I just do that until the end of July. And we start skating with the Minnesota Wild and a bunch of like local pros from Minnesota. Do a big workout group with them. And
who usually sets that up? The Wild
our agency. We have Octagon Hockey is our agent's company. So they do a big camp every year, and they've guys fly in from all over.
Now,
so it's awesome.
What big names will be a part of that? Other than the Conboys.
Ryan Malone from Tampa. Yeah. All the Wild players are there. Gabrick from the Rangers.
Nice. Who I'm rooting for, by the way.
Yeah, me too.
Okay, good. We shouldn't say that. We shouldn't say that, but I can't help it.
Here, can we erase that?
I might have to edit that out a little bit.
No, it's fun because you feel like you're in the NHL, and there's a lot of guys. Minnesota is an awesome place to live for hockey because there's so many players from there, and it's a hockey state. You know, everyone plays hockey, so it's an awesome place to be.
Now, you've obviously gone to play here in Binghamton, New York. I have said for many years is a hotbed for hockey players to grow up in. Now Jerry Domingo's from Binghamton. Right. He's playing with Toronto. The Giantas are from Rochester. There's so many kids that come out of Rochester and the Buffalo area. I think Robbie Shrem came out of Syracuse, in the Syracuse area. Yep. Dustin Brown's a captain. And what is it, now that you've played here, you've talked to the fans, you've seen the reactions, why do you think hockey isn't looked at New York State? It's always looked at Minnesota. It's looked at Michigan. It's looked at Boston and the Massachusetts area. But it's never really looked at in New York. And yet there's so many teams that play in New York. Yeah. You know, AHL-wise, ECHL, and
everything.
Really, I mean, the Syracuse Stars are one of the best junior clubs to produce a lot of players.
Apple Corps and all that, right?
Yeah, absolutely. So why do you think people forget about New York when it comes to hockey?
Well, I think it's just when people think of New York, they think of New York City or big stage. Like, and in Minnesota, like I hate to say it, but we don't have much else there. It's cold, that's about all we got.
Twins play 2 months and then stop.
Yeah, they got an outdoor stadium now wearing winter gear. So, no, I mean, New York has just got so much else to offer. I think hockey just gets overlooked. There's so much here. It's so many people doing different things and different cultures. It's just not as big there because they have so much other things to offer here.
So you played the season here, you had some injuries, obviously not what everyone expected. Other than being able to chat with me, what has been your best memory of Binghamton, New York?
I would have to say catching my first walleye out of the Susquehanna.
No, really?
I did not know they'd have walleye in there. I thought they were just Minnesota fish, really, or Midwest. So when I reeled the first one out of there, I was pretty happy.
Now, who did you fish with on the team, or was it some local
Gryba.
people?
Me and Gryba went a lot.
He is the outdoorsman, isn't he?
Oh, he skinned a deer, a turkey, a duck, and what else? A rabbit. You have to come over and use my garage.
Yeah.
It's hilarious. He'd be like, "Hey, Cons, what are you doing?" Like, nothing, just sitting here. What if I use your garage? I just shot a deer. Like, okay. So he hangs a deer. I got to show you the picture.
Okay, this is great. Now, unfortunately, the fans aren't going to be able to see this, but this will be pretty awesome.
There it is.
Wow.
He did it all himself in like
in your
45 minutes.
Now, did he clean the garage afterwards?
No, I had to clean the blood, which I was kind of mad about. But he was pretty sorry about it.
So what is it about a guy like Eric Gryba that just kind of like makes everyone want to kind of attract themselves to him and see him and be around him? Because I mean, that's kind of crazy. I think at one point Burrow said he wanted to, get a bear and everything, this year and everything. But now you guys did get a couple Hershey bears, but that's not the point here. But talk a little bit about Eric Gryba. I mean, because I know he's going up. He's going to be a black ace and everything. And I've watched him the last couple seasons, and the growth has been slow with him.
Right.
But is it because that's just what he is? Stay-at-home defenseman, not going to do much more than that?
I don't think so. I mean, he's been on the power play and stuff like that and done really well. So, I mean, the sky's the limit for guys like him and Burrow. To be that young and to have a bright future, it makes me jealous. I'm sitting here 8 years deep in the league, and I'm still trying to get to the NHL. And, these guys are on the fast track right now. And Grybes, he's just a man's man, He's like a guy you want to hang out with. He's always in a good mood, always happy, joking around. He'll always be a guy to come help you out and give you the shirt off his back. So he's an easy guy to like.
Does he like metal like us?
No, he doesn't. He's a country guy.
Really?
They all hate my metal, except McKenna. Yeah, they can't handle it. So.
And McKenna likes this very unique metal too.
Well, we both like the death metal, like
aggressive.
You can't hear the lyrics really, just mostly headbanging. So
Sepultura was one of my favorite
there you go.
So I know the stuff. I know my metal and everything. So there's not a problem with that and everything. I actually like everything that is even the glam all the way up. I like everything in between, the Iron Maiden. I've been to 15 Bon Jovi concerts,
awesome.
but I've also seen Maiden. I've also seen Megadeth and Metallica and all those guys. So
that's awesome.
I actually know that as well. Before I let you go, we asked you last night about the thought process about where you might be next year. When does that begin? Is it July 1st, or does it start before then, even though you really can't tell anybody that's starting before then?
Yeah, I mean, it's always in the back of your mind. It's July 1st is a long time to wait when you're a free agent, especially, you don't know if you'll get a job. You always have some confidence that you will, but in the back of your mind, there's still those days when you're like, geez, like, what will I do if I don't get a job? So it's tough, but I try not to think about it at all until around that time. Yeah. But it does creep into your head, and just try to get it out of there and not worry about it until the time comes.
Opportunity or money? Because you're getting to your certain part of the career where sometimes you got to think about it.
I could sign an AHL contract and make more money, but NHL two-way keeps me the chance of getting called up.
But pays you a little bit less.
That's another thing I'm weighing out this summer is, I'm 30 years old. I've been in this league for 8 years with a cup of coffee in the NHL. I don't know if I'm going to get another chance, so that's something I got to think about. I'm going to have 2 kids, and, maybe it is the year to just take the money. But, situations always usually work out themselves.
Which means I go see you in Hershey then next year, because we all know it's either Hershey or Chicago that's offering up the money for the AHL players.
Right, that's how it's become. It's, those 2 teams
are successful at it, though.
Yeah, and that's why they're successful every year. But I mean, you can't do anything about that. It's still a developmental league, and at the end of the day, they're here trying to develop players.
Seeing those Hurricane players at one point raise the cup, that's what drives you still, right?
Oh, yeah. I mean, that's what's driven me since I was little. It's what makes you smile and go on the ice every day. And to be able to still do it at my age, even though I'm in the minors, I feel like the luckiest man in the world, Get to do what I love and play hockey every day. So
I had a friend tweet me today that said, and because after I said I'm going down to do exit interviews and talk to the B-Sens, who I absolutely, some of these guys like yourself, I absolutely love.
Right.
She said, I have the greatest job. It's not even a job. It's literally something I just do for the fans. But it's right. It's one of the greatest things you can do.
Millions of people would love to be in our shoes. You can't take anything for granted. That's what helps you the days and you don't want to get up and go to practice or go in. You just think about that and think about how lucky you are to be able to do this for a living. Even though you're in the minors, it's pretty fucking cool at the end of the day to be able to play hockey.
I agree. Tim,
So,
it's been an honor. I can't wait to talk to you and your brother sometime in the summer.
That'll
We'll
be
work
fun.
that out so the fans should check that out. And I know your parents will probably listen to that
Yeah,
one.
they'll love
you
that.
know. And we won't put any censors on that one. That one will be literally, it'll come with a little warning and everything, so we can do that and everything. Cool.
Awesome. Thank you.